One of the most famous applications of the principle of diminishing marginal product comes from the economist Thomas Malthus in 1798. Malthus pointed out that the production of food involved two primary inputs: labor, which is flexible, and land, which is fixed, even in the long run. Since the amount of land is always fixed, there would be ever diminishing marginal productivity of farming. As more workers are pulled into farming, each additional worker contributes a smaller marginal product. Labor is less and less productive, and the supply of food grows slower and slower. Meanwhile, because of population growth, the demand for food is rising and rising. Malthus took this line of thinking to its logical conclusion. Since there was ever-growing demand, but slowly rising supply, we would run out of food and there'd be mass starvation in the world. In short, Malthus was kind of a bummer. But hold on. Since Malthus made that prediction, the world population has risen by 800%. And yet, in most of the world, people eat better now than ever before. What happened? The answer is that Malthus ignored the possibility of productivity improvements. It's true that the acreage of land is fixed, but the arability of the land, how conducive it is for farming, is not. Over the past 2 centuries, increased use of fertilizers and tractors has made land more useful. So it turns out that land is actually a flexible input in the long run. Moreover, agricultural technology has improved. Farmers now use disease-resistant seeds and better land management practices. The result of all this is that production of food per person is actually rising. World food consumption per capita is up 40% since 1950, despite the population growth over that time. Does this mean the principle of diminishing marginal product is invalid? Absolutely not. The concept of diminishing marginal product says the marginal product declines when all else, including technology, remains the same. Fortunately for the 7 billion of us on the planet today, the technology improvements that set off huge increase in agricultural productivity have offset the diminishing marginal product of labor in food production.